Welcome to Thrive Thursday. Every Thursday I share a recipe with you that you can make using Thrive Life freeze-dried ingredients. And my saying that I always say is when other people are living off beans and rice in their food storage, you can have amazing meals like this using Thrive Life ingredients. It's fantastic. So I'm a big proponent on freeze-dried foods if you haven't noticed some of the other videos in my channel here, but today I am going to make an Asian-inspired pork and rice dish. Super delicious. And this month, the rice and the pork and the garlic are all on sale. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna tilt down the camera so you can see what I do and how quickly this recipe comes together. Okay. First, we're going to start with our Thrive Life instant white rice. So I've got 1 cup of rice and I'm just going to add 1 cup of boiling water. Now, in hindsight, I didn't have my water as hot as I would have liked it. Ideally, you want it really boiling. And actually, you can cook this over the stovetop and it will cook a lot faster, a lot better with higher heat. But I only had 1 portable burner, so I was doing it this way, which it works. And if you're camping or something, this is an easy way to make it work. Once you combine your hot water, just cover it, and I'm just going to set it aside and let it sit and give it a few minutes to rehydrate. Now, on the burner here in this pan, I've got 1 cup of water, trying to get this up to temperature as quickly as possible because it does take a while on these little burners. Your stovetop is not going to be as long. The heat's just way better. So keep that in mind on some of these videos. It does take a little bit longer having this portable burner. But now we're going to add, this is our Thrive Life shredded pork. So I'm going to add about half a cup worth, this is just eyeballing it, figuring out how much you want to do depending on how many people you're cooking for and all that. So I'm just going to do about half a cup of the shredded pork there. And then we're going to add our Thrive Life garlic. This garlic is amazing. Now keep in mind, when it's freeze-dried, it's potent. So we're only going to do 1 teaspoon. It is pretty strong. Freeze-dried seasonings really have a lot of flavor. So now we're going to add about 1/4 cup of soy sauce. And again, I'm just eyeballing. If you like things a little more salty or whatever, you can add more soy sauce. This recipe is just a fun Asian tasting, kind of a teriyaki tasting recipe. So most teriyaki recipes are a combination between soy sauce and brown sugar. There you go. So that's pretty much what this sauce is. So I didn't have my measuring cup in there, but this is about 1/4 cup of brown sugar with the 3 scoops there. And this is it. Look at this. That is it. So you could literally combine all these ingredients into a mason jar or even a bag if you were going camping or something. Combine them all together and get some of those little travel packets of soy sauce. Everything else is dry ingredients. So you can actually even buy powdered soy sauce. And you can have everything combined. And so all you do is add some water. And then at this point, it's just getting it to boil. So in all honesty, what takes the most time of this recipe, like with a lot of freeze-dried foods when you're cooking with them, is waiting for the water to boil. Honestly, that's what takes the longest. And once that water was boiling, I really only cooked it about 4 minutes. So if you had your water boiling, and obviously if I had a little bit better burner, if I was doing this on my stove or something, that would go a lot faster. But this, all in all, was still under 10 minutes, even considering this burner that wasn't as efficient as a stovetop. So boil it for about 4 minutes. If you want your sauce a little thicker, you can boil it a little longer if you want. But it doesn't need to be. So now I'm going to check on the rice. Now keep in mind, it's only been about maybe 5 or 6 minutes. It took a couple minutes to get up to boil, and I boiled it for 4 minutes. So the rice wasn't fully rehydrated yet. You can still see some liquid in there. Now, again, if I'd had my water a little hotter, or if I had boiled it together over the stove, it would have rehydrated a lot faster. So for this, I'm just gonna combine them because they're gonna get combined in my bowl anyway. So may as well, because my pork at this point is pretty much done. We're just waiting on the rice. And so combining them, the rice just needs a couple more minutes and the pork's already boiling good. So at this point, I'm just gonna combine them all together, and then we'll let them cook for another 2 minutes, and then your rice will be good to go. So that the rice, and I tasted the rice at this point, it wasn't too bad, but you could tell like it wasn't fully cooked. It was still a little bit chewy, and it really only took 2 more minutes, and the pan was already hot. Give it 2 more minutes, and that rice, actually, this was really good because that rice absorbed all that amazing flavor in the sauce. That's it. So now you have this super easy Asian-inspired pork and rice dish. This start to finish took me less than 10 minutes. This would make a perfect meal for if you were camping, or a meal in a jar, a gift to someone, or even if you have kids that are making dinner when you're not home. So easy. This really doesn't get much easier than that. And I just like to top it off with a little bit of Thrive Life green onions for a garnish. Those are amazing. One of my favorite ingredients Thrive sells. And that is it. So literally from start to finish, this was like 10 minutes. Now, if I'd had my water a little hotter, my rice would have cooked up and I wouldn't have combined it. But it's okay. It looks fine, and it tastes amazing either way. If you want more of a sauce rather than this sauce is more runny, like a soup a little bit on the bottom. If you want yours thicker, you can always add a little bit more brown sugar and make it more like a thicker sauce if you like that. But now is a test. I topped it off with a little bit of freeze-dried Thrive Life green onions. Love those. They're seriously one of my favorite products. I always have them on hand. So let's go ahead and taste. Okay. I have teenagers coming home in like 15 minutes. I better eat as much of this as I want because they're gonna definitely eat all this. We love Asian-inspired anything at our house. This is good. Definitely has like a teriyaki flavoring to it. The rice is cooked. It doesn't take that long to cook the rice. It's because it's freeze-dried, pre-cooked. So that was pretty quick. The sauce is really good. You could go all out if you wanted it more Asian-y. That's a word, right? Asian-y? If not, I just made it up. You could add like sesame oil. You could add oyster sauce. You could even jazz it up with vegetables. This didn't sound like a vegetable thing, but you could peppers, or I mean, you could put peas in it and stuff if you wanted, but I just wanted something a little simple and a little plain, quick and easy. This would also be so easy to do in a meal in a jar. Literally, you throw everything in there and do a couple of those packets of soy sauce you get from fast food restaurants, and bam, you got your meal in a jar. So easy. So, I want to hurry and eat it before my boys get home, because they'll eat it all and I won't have a chance. So anyhow, we'll see you next Thursday. Be sure to watch and subscribe and like the channel, like the video. Much appreciated. And check below for the recipe, for a printable version of the recipe, as well as the website to my Thrive Life site, where you can go and buy some of these ingredients yourself and try this recipe out yourself.